Hello, this is Vance, and this is Wednesday, January 24th, 2018. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Well, today was the DOA report, or the Energy Information Administration's report on crude oil and gasoline and so forth. That came out at 10:30 today. But I want to talk a bit about news. Yesterday at 4:30, there is the American Petroleum Institute announced that there was a inventory build, which was a surprise, of 4.75 million barrels, and this is what happened. Oil prices went up yesterday, but came back down, and so this was at the close of near the close at 4:30 yesterday afternoon. This is on the 23rd. So prices overnight really kind of bounced around at that level, somewhere in the neighborhood of just above 64.35. Prices moved up. And then when the open happened this morning, so prices started trading in a fairly tight range for most of, let's say, this is like the overnight, and this is anywhere from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, 8:39. We're looking at... right here is 903. You can see the prices in the 15 ticks, for most of that time period. Now I've mentioned this many times in the past. On the day of the report, the OE report, or I'm going to start calling it the EIA report, because it really is the Energy Information Administration report. So it's referred to as the EIA report. So let's refer to it as that from now on. So the EIA report comes out at 10:30. Now, up until that time, before that report, especially when it's reported on Wednesdays at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, or on Thursdays at 11 Eastern Standard Time when there's a holiday during the week, a lot of times the market will kind of slow down in anticipation of the report right up till 10:30. So you can see that if there's not a move at 9 o'clock, it's by my experience that it'll be pretty tight. And today was no different. So if you look at this 15 tick box, it says, this is 9 o'clock, prices open right here, 903, moved up, moved down, and just really moved sideways until 10:30. And this is 10:30 right here. So what I usually do is I kind of block it out to say that maybe you shouldn't really trade during that period of time, because things can happen very rapidly. So let's take a look what happened. So 10:30, prices, the announcement comes out, and the announcement is that there was a drawdown on the EIA the EIA reported a drawdown of 1.1 million barrels, and they wasn't really expected. That was in conflict with a build yesterday of over 4 million barrels of the API. So there was a conflict there. When that happens, and you don't know where price is going to head. So if prices are kind of slowing down, you expect, if there's a big discrepancy, prices might start moving up. And at 10:30, this is what happened. So prices had moved up, and this is at 10:30. We're getting close to it, and it moved up quickly. This is 10:38. So already 10:38 minutes later, it's up almost, somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 cents. It peaks out, and this is right at about 11 o'clock right here at 65.40. So it shoots up from anywhere from it's almost up a buck, okay, within a half an hour roughly. Prices come down, and the initial reaction for me is that you're looking at this area right here. I'll just draw this out. I was expecting, you see this bounce right here. So we had a bounce. This is early on. Then we had another one right here. So you're thinking that maybe this is going. I'm thinking that maybe this is going to be an area where price is going to rebound. Somewhere in about $65. You see, look at the side here, about $65. That's where the line. So we're looking at. So I'm looking at this area right here. And what happens? Well, price does overshoot here, comes down a little further, and right here, instead of prices rebounding, what happens? There's a big sell-off or something. There's lots of contracts that come in, and in a period of about a few minutes, and I'm reading just a few minutes, so let me just take a look at that. If I look at a few minutes, what I mean by that is from right here, this is 11:35 on this bar right here. This is 11:36 right here. So from 11:35 in 1 minute, prices dropped from 64.09 down to 64.64. So we had 45 ticks. 40. Let me just make sure this is right. 64, 69. Yep, we had a 45 tick drop, like almost to this point, and then just a little bit further at 11:38. So in 3 minutes, prices dropped almost 50 cents. Okay, over 50 cents. 56 cents. So from this point to this point, so 50 cents. And that was half of that move up, roughly, of what we had from 1030. Now, why is this critical? Well, this is important to me because I want to see how price is going to respond right after this sell-off. And you got to think that there's somebody that stepped in with a large amount of contracts that draw, the selling pressure right here, multiple contracts. And notice where it bounces. It bounces right in this area. So price gets down, it bounces the first time, pulls back again. And this area, I have to argue that this, to me, was a place to kind of get in, especially off of this bar. And the reason I think that is because we had this rush down. Now we've got the sideways. It looks like support. Time to go long. And right in this juncture right here, time to go long. That's what I was looking at. Price moves up, comes back down, takes me out. I was ahead about 5 ticks on this one. I think it was this one, this bar. And then a price, we have a second entry long right here. Not a great bar though, but then a second entry long right on this bar. And when prices hit this, I was thinking this area is support. I didn't draw that in, but this area is support, expecting that we might have another run up about this amount. Okay, so about that, which is I expected. Well, what happened was a lot better than that. In fact, what happened is that, let me just show you what happened. For the rest of the day, prices not only exceeded what the previous high was at 65.43, but then continued to grow. And from this point forward, to the close, it went up significantly. So it closed at above 61. Now this is later on. This is right now. It's just after 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So price is over 66.19. It's broken $66. But this move right here. So to get on this would really turn out to be a pretty decent trade. 230. We seem to have a lot of this is 230 right here. So we had this more movement that went up. I mean, it went sideways in this area. I didn't really draw that in. Well, I could. But when you see, this is really late in the day if you're actually trading. But this was certainly the move right here. Off the bottom, it turned out, and then a second entry long right here. And if you'd been in there, so that, with this was the movement I was expecting, like this bar right here, that was my kind of my target initially. And then it just it exceeded that by a fairly significant margin. So that was basically it for today. I took some videos. I'll show them later. I kind of condensed them off. I'll show that at the end of this. But that was it for today. So it really was only 2 trades. You were dead if you tried to go short on this. Could you have gone short on this? I don't know. Especially it's in this zone here. And from when the EIA report comes out from 10:30 to after 11, I typically am not in the market, at least for that half an hour, maybe even longer. It depends on how things settle out. But I thought this was a pretty decent turnaround and a time to get in. And so that's pretty much it. So it's pretty short, just a few minutes. Again, I'll tack on the stuff at the end here. So that's it for now, for this portion. And just hang on, I'll put the other stuff on. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, where I have the bar, where I was talking about a little just before that, I don't have that purple box in here. But this is where I saw a bit of a turnaround. So I put 3 contracts on, took my first contract out, excuse me. Then it turns over and I moved my X2 contracts up a little bit, I think 5 ticks, and it took me out there. But then right after that, I got back in. Excuse me. I got back in, and you can see that I see this as a second entry long on the first bar. You can see that first bar on the off the daily. And then the second bar, I waited it out. It moved up, and right at this point, I moved it up after it got to 10 ticks. And when it got to the 10 tick area, I had moved it to break even. Not sure whether price was going to rotate back down or move back up. But I thought it was well enough because I was break even, I was able to sit with that trade. I sat with it. It did take me out at plus 15. And you'll see it right here. See, it took a while for it to work out. But I kept sitting with that trade until when it hit plus 15. And then from there, it just moved up pretty rapidly. It went sideways again, pulled back, and then it just kind of shot up to 30. And then you can see I had moved it up. It shot up to 30 and right on this bar. And then when I moved up in behind here, it moved up to my 45 ticks, which just coincided with 64.30. From there, I mean, right now it moved up after that. I was looking at moving it up and kind of trailing this a little bit better, like moving my target out a little further. But it took me out so quickly that I didn't get a chance to. In fact, I was just contemplating moving that up. Moving the target up and then kind of closing up on the stop. But that didn't happen. It just it sprang up out of there very quickly. I mean, I sped this up. This is really sped up quite a bit, but 4 times. But it never really afforded me the chance to get out and move my target. And that's it. So that's it for today. Of course, I've run out of video, so you're just seeing like a black screen. Thanks for watching. This is Vance. Bye for now.